welcome to YHM community. This video today is all about simple at-home remedies you can use to hopefully help ease your morning sickness or nausea and vomiting in pregnancy. So firstly, congratulations on your pregnancy, and secondly, I'm really sorry that you're not feeling so great right now, which is obviously why you've searched this video. But I'm going to go through 6 simple things today that you can do at home starting today to hopefully help to ease those symptoms of nausea and vomiting in pregnancy. So my name's Nicola, I'm a midwife, I'm a yoga teacher specialising in pregnancy and postnatal yoga, and I also teach hypnobirthing and birth preparation classes too. But let's keep the focus today on what we can do to help ease your sickness and vomiting in pregnancy. So firstly, you might already know this, but actually the term morning sickness, it's a little bit rubbish. It's not a great term. You can have this nausea or vomiting any time of day. It might be the morning, but it might be all day and into the night as well. Sometimes it's constant and sometimes it's intermittent. It's different for every woman, but a little bit of reassurance, this is really common. You're not alone. About 70 to 80% of women experience this in pregnancy, so it's huge. So it's really important today that I do this video to give you some simple tricks to help you feel better. Okay, so let's just get started. So number 1 is sleep and rest. So if you're tired, if you're exhausted, then actually you're much more likely to heighten those symptoms of nausea and vomiting in pregnancy. So as much as you can, really try to do simple things to prioritise getting a good night's sleep. So that might be that you start a nice bedtime routine to unwind, maybe do a relaxation before sleep. Or alternatively, if you can, try and fit in some little episodes of rest in your day or even micro naps. And by doing that, we can help reduce these symptoms slightly as well. Number 2, and a lot of women find this one really, really beneficial. Number 2 is actually eating something before you get out of bed in the morning. So once you've woken up, before you get your feet out of bed, try eating something. So number 1 can be plain biscuits. So how nice that we're recommending biscuits to eat in pregnancy to help cure your symptoms, right? So just any plain biscuit. These ones are just some nice Spanish ones as I'm currently living in Spain, but any plain biscuits is fine, or maybe even just some plain dry toast. Try eating that before you get out of bed. And I've actually found that over the years, a lot of women that I've worked with, that one has really helped them in particular, so give that a go. Number 3 is change the way you eat. So most of us are used to eating maybe 3 times a day, larger meals. Scrap that, it can really make your nausea and vomiting worse. So instead, try and eat smaller amounts but more frequently. So eating every 2 to 3 hours, smaller amounts, more kind of plain food. So have things that are high in carbohydrates and are low in fat. So things like rice, pasta, jacket potatoes, and for snacks, try things like some maybe plain crackers, bananas, cereal bars. And what I'd really recommend that you start doing from today is keep a food diary. So now grab a notebook or use it, go high tech, use it on your laptop or phone, whatever you fancy. But start keeping a daily food diary and start to jot down what you've eaten that day, at what time, as well as your fluid intake, and then you can start to quickly see what is helping your symptoms of nausea and vomiting and what really isn't helping your symptoms. So try a few of those things out, try things that are high in carbohydrates, keep a diary and make a note of how that made you feel that day, how your nausea and vomiting was, and then you can quickly start to make improvements every day to get these symptoms reducing and help you feeling better. Okay, number 4 is fluids. Fluids. Do not dehydrate yourself. So often if you're feeling nauseous and sick, you really do not feel like drinking water or other fluids at all. So a couple of things that can help. Firstly, try drinking through a straw, like this one here. Sometimes drinking fluids through a straw feels a little bit more tolerable than it does gulping down water. And the second thing is, if tap water or just room temperature water, again, really isn't helping. Try chilled water, put some water in the fridge, and again, that can feel a lot more tolerable to yourself as well. But just small sips throughout the day. Don't drink down large quantities or gulping down water, because again, that can make your symptoms worse. So perhaps try a straw and just sip water throughout the day. Really make sure you're hydrated. So aim to be having kind of around 2 litres or more per day. And sometimes this is quite tricky, especially if you're busy working, you've got other young kids, family commitments, etc, etc. But just do your best to try and keep that fluids intake as high as you can with sipping small amounts throughout the day. Again, that will help your nausea and vomiting too. Okay, number 5 is ginger. This is probably my favourite recommendation, and again, a lot of women find this helps them. So having root fresh ginger can really help. They used to say about eating ginger biscuits, which again was a really nice recommendation if you're into ginger biscuits, but actually the sugar content is really high and the ginger content is actually quite low. So if you more find that happens because of the sugar rush, that's fine, but we're actually talking about more fresh root ginger. So this is an ancient remedy that's been used as an anti-emetic or an anti-sickness for a very long time. So making yourself a herbal tea, so just chop up some fresh ginger and with some boiled water. If you don't like the taste, maybe try adding a little bit of lemon in as well. And ginger can be really useful for helping nausea and vomiting. So you can have it in the morning, you can also have it throughout the day as well, up to 4 cups to help your symptoms. One quick note is if you have any health conditions or you're on any medication, then please just check with your healthcare provider that doesn't contraindicate your medication or your specific health condition. So the majority of people, this is absolutely fine. If you do have one of those, if you're on meds or have a health condition, then please just check first. Okay, and that brings us on to number 6, which is acupressure. So acupressure, there's been lots of research on it showing that it's really effective to help reduce these symptoms and can be useful in pregnancy too. So a couple of options. Number 1 is using a travel band like this one. So a lot of people buy these if they're going on a ferry and they get seasick, for example. You can also use it for pregnancy. It is safe for pregnancy too. I know it's really hard sometimes to know what's safe, what isn't safe, but these are, and what it'll do is just apply a gentle bit of acupressure at that point to help with your nausea and vomiting, and it's shown to be really effective. I recommend these to a lot of pregnant women that I work with, and especially if you might be in early pregnancy and maybe you've not told people yet, and it's quite hard to deal with. You're not feeling well, you're vomiting or you've got nausea, but you're carrying on as normal with your work and everything else. You can just pop these on your wrist and carry on, and hopefully it might help with those symptoms. So that's option 1. I just picked that up from a local pharmacy, which you can too. And the second thing is just applying the acupressure yourself if you prefer. So just so you know where it is, we're actually looking for P6. That's the pressure point we want to target to help with these symptoms. So to find that, just take your 3 fingers to the inside of your wrist and then place your thumb on the inside of those 3 fingers, and that's the point we want, this P6 point for acupressure. Then you can apply a bit of pressure for around 2 to 3 minutes, either with stillness or circular motions, and that can help alleviate your nausea too. So give these remedies a try. Let me know how you found them in the comment section below. And one really important thing just before we finish today is if your symptoms are easing, for most women they do kind of ease by 16 to 20 weeks of pregnancy. If they're not, or really importantly, if you're not able to tolerate enough fluid or food to maintain the nutrition you need, then please seek medical advice. So for some women this might be not just some light nausea and vomiting, this might be something they need medication for to help them manage this, to make sure they're getting enough fluid and food intake. So please, if you're not able to get enough fluid or enough food intake and manage these symptoms yourself, then please speak to your healthcare professional. They can advise you from there. It might be more appropriate for you to start some anti-emetics, some anti-sickness medication as well. Fab. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful, and I really, really hope fingers crossed, that your symptoms start to ease for you soon. If you've enjoyed this video or found it useful, then please give it a like and also subscribe to my channel. So I now release videos every single week, and there's lots more for pregnancy yoga, labour preparation, breathing techniques, and I'm also going to add in a series now for more information like this video today. So things like exercise in pregnancy, how to prepare for labour, etc, etc. So if you have found this video useful, then please consider subscribing. I really hope your symptoms get better, and I hope to see you for some more yoga, meditation and pregnancy focused videos soon. Have a great day, and namaste.